Here we go, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. There is audio. There's audio. Let me know if you can hear me okay now. You can hear me okay? Okay. All right. Can you hear me now? 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 All right. Greetings, greetings, April. Hi, Toki. Yes, you can hear me. Perfect. Let me know, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? What you're seeking is seeking you. Give me 15 minutes and you will never feel lack or scarcity again. What I'm about to tell you is bigger than exiting the matrix. I'm going to tell you how to exit code. I'm going to tell you how to jump the system, how to trick the mind, the super subconscious, which is way beyond this body. It's about to get deep, but it's about to be so effective in this time that we have here. Guys, I'm going to give you a life update. Life has been lifing, girl. Life has been absolutely lifing. I'm very sick at the moment. There's a lot of things going on. One thing I can tell you is that I had to recently stand in the gap for someone and basically save their life. And I had to give some of my energy in order to do that. They were boggled down with a lot of entities, someone in my family. And this is what you get. This is the outcome. You get, when you give your life force energy for someone, part of you gets taken away. So I haven't been as active as I wanted to be. There's been a lot happening behind the scenes, guys. But during the rest, Source never leaves us without a lesson. Source always uses everything for our highest divine good. I'm not 100% right now. I got like my whole face is swollen, my head is swollen. I got a head cold. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I need rest. I've not rested in roughly probably a good 7 weeks. I haven't really slept. I thought when I went to LA I was going to be able to rest, but that did not happen. So guys, what you're seeking is seeking you too. What you're seeking is absolutely seeking you to give me about 15 minutes and you will never feel lack ever again. I'm going to give you guys the life update because it will lead us to what you're seeking is seeking you to. It will lead us to where humanity is. So you guys know that I went to Arizona, to Sedona, to the Grand Canyon, with all of my sisters, and it was beautiful. We had a beautiful graduation there and a ceremony, and then we also just did a lot of healing that we needed to do within ourselves. We worked with a lot of ancestral codes. So, our time there, we really were working on our Native American codes, our Indigenous American codes, and just the opening of that. When you look at your DNA, and even if you were to take a DNA test, right, and it said, oh, you're 1% of this, indigenous tribe, just by us opening up that tiny percentage, just by us opening up that, and what we are looking at is a template. What was in the template when we opened it up as we were doing our healing work? We opened up the template, the this particular Navajo indigenous tribe. We opened up that template, and what we found was part of the code of creation. What we found is that our souls had past lives, and we were part of the Trail of Tears. We were part of a tribe that was misplaced and scattered and slaughtered. We knew this day would come when we would meet again. And in between those mountains, those vortexes in Sedona, all the memories started rushing back in. And I was screaming out to the mountains that I told them that I would be back to avenge what happened to my family, to my tribe, to my people, to my land. And As I screamed out to each mountain, I saw faces start to awaken in all of the mountains surrounding me. So, what you are seeking is seeking you. Hold on to that. It's going to be important. I screamed out to the mountains and I told them back when that happened, back in the 1700s, I said, I will avenge my tribe. And then I stood in the year of 2025 with some of the members of my tribe that were misplaced, that were slaughtered, and even one was cut out of me. I was pregnant with one of them, my sister, the youngest one. And I told those mountains then that I would be back, that I would avenge. And they remembered because what you are seeking is seeking you too. And the code never forgets. Your DNA remembers. It remembers. Mountains are nothing more than dormant, stuck God energy. The energy of the gods are in the mountains, and we can awaken them. And that's what happened. So we fast forward 400 years later, and that I come back with this remembrance, and I awakened the gods in the mountain, and then they awakened within me because what you are seeking is seeking you too, because it's all code. What I was seeking was bigger than a sisterhood. It was the family that was taken from me hundreds of years ago that came back around to me in this season because what I am seeking was seeking me too. They answered the call. I was seeking them, they were seeking me. Like energies bind to like energies. So speak life because what you are seeking is seeking you too. It's just for you to believe. It's just for you to believe. That was very emotional. That was at a very emotional time. And it really made me understand that all of the work that I do when I talk about going into the DNA template, looking at all of the karmic issues inside of the template, all of the trauma, all of the soul tears, ties, weaknesses, inflictions. Now, fast forward, in that moment, it was all real because what you're seeking is seeking you too. I also want to tell you guys to please go over to my other channel, uh, Karmic Justice TV, and please subscribe to that because I am going to be doing content over there. I'll put the handle down here. So the handle is just at Karmic Justice TV. So please, please subscribe, guys, to that channel as well. But getting back to this, guys, what you are seeking is seeking you too. I'm going to take you on a journey. And as I take you on this journey, I want you to just really sit with self and examine your own genetic makeup, your own mind, your own habits, your own way of being, your own emotional state. Because what you're seeking is seeking you too. It's just that you have to be speaking the right language in order to receive it. And if you give me about 15 minutes, you'll never feel lack or scarcity again, because I'm going to explain to you how to trick code. That's what I'm going to do in this moment. So we were all united through our shared, our shared passion and purpose, because what you're seeking is seeking you too. And I was seeking a sisterhood, they were seeking a sisterhood. And we became a sisterhood because what you're seeking is seeking you too. When I say speak life, I don't mean that anyhow. When you speak what you want, or when you speak what it is that you are about to do, that vibration, just the very thing that you are speaking. Do you guys, I want you to understand. I want you to start saying some words to yourself right now. And then what I want you to do is plug up your ears. And then I want you to start to speak. But I want you to speak life, speak positive things. And you're going to hear something that maybe you've never heard before. You're going to hear a tonality. And if you go a bit deeper, you're going to hear a vibration. You're going to hear the words vibrating in the back of your throat, your voice box. You're going to feel the words rolling off of your tongue. And when that gets expelled outside of the physical body, thoughts are one thing. Thoughts create things, but words, when you speak it, those things grows legs. And now it starts its journey in creation, in motion. So when we speak, that in which we spoke now becomes sentient, and it now has the ability to create, because what you're seeking is seeking you too. The words that you speak have a vibration, and it wants to go out and bind to the vibration of itself, because what you're seeking is seeking you too. And that's how I met my family away from family. That's how I met my soul cluster. And so the words that you speak are very, very important. The thoughts that you think, how you feel deeply and completely, how you feel your emotional body, and what you do is going to create the program that you're running. It's creating your life script that's going on in the subconscious mind. It's creating the known and unknown associations, the likes and the dislikes in the subconscious mind. Because what you are seeking is seeking you too, but you have to understand the code and the language and how to get there. And so it's very, very powerful. The words that we speak can bring to us what we are seeking, because it's seeking you too. So when we think it, right, we have a thought. This is a thought form. And those thought forms are very powerful, because a thought form in itself can create an overload to the conscious mind. When the conscious mind takes in a certain number of message units by law in order to protect you and to keep the mind and the body in homeostasis, the conscious mind opens up and it shoots back data to store it in the subconscious so that you do not overload yourself. So everything starts with the thought. But if we get too many thoughts, then we become overwhelmed. And if we tend to become overwhelmed, more than likely, even if you're thinking something positive, you are feeling something negative, because the overwhelmed, even if it was a positive thought, if it's too much and it starts to overwhelm you, it becomes negative, and now it's now stored. A positive thought can be stored in the subconscious mind as something negative based off of your emotional state. It's what you think, how you feel about what you think, and then what you do with all of that data that now either brings you closer to what you're seeking. Either way, it's going to bring you to what you're seeking. But we got to make sure that what you're seeking is still of light, if you know what I mean. So when you think something and when you feel something, it's a bit different. When you feel something, we have not only the thought, but we now have the energy of the emotion. And as we know, this matrix is one of the ways that keeps us confined into this reality is through our emotional body, is through the five senses. So when we have a thought, but when we now take that thought and create an emotion with it, it now creates what we call an energy signature. And the energy signature is now something that can be read. It's something that gets stored not only in the physical body because it's an imprint. The thought is one thing, but when the thought mixes with emotions, it becomes an imprint. And whether that's a negative input imprint or a positive imprint, it now becomes an imprint. It has its own energy signature. Enough of enough energy signatures, enough thoughts that are blended with emotions that create energy signatures, enough of those will create a whole template. If you were to, for a whole year, just cycle back the same thought and emotion, it would eventually create a template. That template could actually change your DNA. This is how powerful you are. You are the quantum computing system. So it's one thing to think a thought, guys, but when we add the thought in with the emotional imprint, this is when it becomes deep. This is when either you're going to get an updated life script or you're going to become back in the karmic loop. So this is very important. I want you guys to understand that. And this is on so many levels. Because if you're seeking something negative, it will also be seeking you. And this is why a lot of people have attachments. And there's some people who say, well, I don't do anything wrong. I don't understand why this is happening to me. And I'm here to kind of give you pushback because what you're seeking is seeking you too. If something negative is showing up on some level, you have created it. And even if you're saying something good, but if you're adding an emotional imprint that feels bad, then that is the energy signature that you're going to get. So it's one thing to think something, it's another thing to feel it. And it's a whole nother thing to feel the proper emotion. It's one thing to feel something, but it's a whole nother thing to have emotional intelligence and to be able to put it in its proper compartment, right? Because these imprints, these are psychic imprints. It's what we're doing to ourselves when we think a thought and when we feel it in our body, because as we know, the subconscious mind is located in the body. If you have an ailment in your body, there's probably something unhealed in the subconscious. And it could be the smallest thing. And if something negative is showing up in your life, it's because what you're seeking is seeking you too, whether that be positive or negative, whether that be the truth or the lie. So if you just remember those three things, how you think, how you feel, and then what you do with that data is going to determine your outcome. No one has to suffer. No one has to experience lack. You are the creator. You are the one coding. You are the coder. I want you to understand that. Yes, there is an original coder. Yes, the Anunnaki tinkered around with our genes and have us in this matrix loop, in this experience. But we know too much now. You can absolutely jump the system. And it's really just that simple. What you think about becomes what you are about, feeling it deeply on an emotional state, and then you walk that out. And then it's what you do from that, right? So this is why we got to always understand that these emotions, guys, they can either heal you or they can take you out. So we always got to be in a higher vibration, right? We never want to waddle in self-pity, because that self-pity that you're feeling deeply, if you waddle in heartbreak, then you're getting all of these psychic imprints. And these are how you're getting spiritual attacks. You are the one creating them unknowingly, unintentionally. This is what is happening. So these thought forms, these emotional imprints now become your life script located in your subconscious mind. So then when you go out there and you want to change and you're wondering why it's not happening, it's simply because you have created a script that you don't want to follow. You're the actor. Your conscious mind is the actor. The subconscious mind is the director. The subconscious mind, aka the director, the producer, is feeding you lines. You go to the corner, it's going to tell you to turn right. Because remember, the last time you turned left, there was an accident. So turn right. It's feeding you your script to you. And it was when that thought became acquainted with the emotion, it created an energy signature. It created a psychic imprint. And now it created a stamp in not only your own personal Akashic records, but also the one collective soul body Akashic records that we all share. Thank you so much, Gail, for the super chat. I love you so much. Thank you. And Carolyn, I hope you're feeling better. Hi, Carolyn. Guys, please subscribe to Karmic Justice TV. Oh, please subscribe to my other channel, Karmic Justice TV. I just put that in the chat there. What you're seeking is seeking you too. It's just that most people are speaking the wrong thing. You might be thinking the right thing, but by the time the thought gets to your body, to your emotional body, most people's emotional body is out of whack, it's out of date, it's unhealed, it's running an old program, it's weak, it's out of order, and you're creating the wrong imprints. Those imprints, it's not just what you think about, it's how you feel about what you're thinking about. You could be saying that I'm going to do this, I'm going to accomplish this goal, I'm going to get this done this week. But when you take that thought through your lie detector, your spirit, your body, the body don't lie and spirit don't lie. When you bring that through your system, it might compute something different. It's going to say, girl, you know you ain't going to do that in a week. Oh, you know you ain't going to do that because the last time you tried it, remember what happened? You failed. This is what I'm saying. And then that emotion, and where's most of this coming from? Probably your gut. Your gut is your third mind, your head mind, your heart mind, and your gut mind. Your gut knows, it knows you can't fake the body. And a lot of us, we try to, but we cannot fake the body. All of you must be on one accord. You're not going to be able to lie to yourself in this season. We can see everything, and you can see everything. And that's why I'm revealing these three simple things to you. Because what you're seeking is seeking you too. But if you're speaking the wrong language, if you're creating negative imprints, and if you're creating a script that you don't even want to follow, how do you think that anyone else is going to want to follow that script? And you're going to just bring back around to you the things that you don't like. And that's how you stay in the karmic loop of life. So the emotions is very important. You must check your emotions. You must have a pure, not only just a pure thought, but pure emotions. And this is why you have to really do the work on yourself to know thyself, right? And then it's what you do with that life script. Your subconscious is the director, it's the producer, it's feeding you lines. So, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to be more apt to do what the subconscious mind is telling you because it's 88% versus just the 12% of your conscious mind. And this is why people are getting more of the same in their lives and they don't understand why. It's because of those simple things that we're not consciously understanding that every thought is a creation, that every emotion with a thought becomes an imprint, creates an energy signature. Enough of those, you now create a template. When you create a template goes down to the DNA level. This can alter how, not necessarily alter your DNA, but it can alter what genes are now expressed within your DNA. You could have some bad genes that could have totally skipped you, but if your life script is saying all the wrong things, the negativity is going to bind to the negativity in your genes. And through that, it's going to bring back around, it's going to pick that bad trait up from your genes through epigenetics. It's going to pick it up. And now that is what is going to be expressed because your environment can totally affect gene expression. It can affect what is being expressed from within the code within you. So what you're seeking is seeking you too. So you have to create a life script that is not filled with lack, is not filled with um, desperation. You won't get anything from from a point of desperation, lack. When you create, every thought is a creation. Every feeling submits that thought, gives it legs to now go out and bind to like energies. And so you have to be careful with the imprints that you're putting out there into the world because what you're seeking is seeking you too. So make sure you speak life. Otherwise, you will get an attachment. Source said something to me that was so profound in a session yesterday about entity removals. Every entity is allowed to be in creation, just as we're allowed to be in creation. They are allowed to eat, just as we are allowed to eat, just as the buzzards eat, just as the birds eat, just as the insects eat. The entities, the negative entities, are allowed to eat. But what are they supposed to eat? They are supposed to eat the carcass when humanity sheds its old skin. I'm going to repeat that. Humanity is always supposed to be in a state of shedding skin, in a state of shedding the things that no longer serve it, in a state, and what is that shedding? It's emotional shedding. You have to shed from the emotional body. You have to release those codes, right? Those commands, those negative thought forms that have take imprints, create imprints, and therefore creates an energy signature that has legs and it goes out into creation and brings you what you have spoken or what you have felt, right? And so the entities are allowed to eat, but they are only to eat what is dead. We are supposed to always shed skin. The reason why people get attachments is now so simple because humanity is not shedding the old skin. And so, because everything in creation is allowed to eat, and what you're seeking is seeking you too. So, on some level, when you do not shed the old relationship, you do not shed the old job, the old friendship, the old way of being, the old habits, you now have created the walking dead. There's a part of you that's the walking dead. And this is when the entities come because they are allowed to eat the dead skin. It's just that you have refused to shed it. What has already died and gone, you're wearing it still. And this is why you have the attachments. And so now the attachments become such an easy removal because all I must do is remove the old skin. All you must do is remove the old skin. When you remove the old skin, the attachment naturally falls away. And this is why you've been getting back what you don't want because you're trying to create with too much baggage. You're not light as a feather. You have dead weight on you. Literally, it's dead weight. He is dead weight. She is dead weight. They are dead weight. Somebody knows that I'm talking to them. This is Source. Sorry for the scratchy voice. This is Source. Somebody knows that I'm talking to them. They are dead. And I'm saying it like that. It's people that you're trying to fit into your life. They are dead. And if they're not dead, then why are you showing up dead? Why are you the walking dead? Then they must be dead. They must be part of the old skin that you refuse to let go of. Even though you have a beautiful new palette underneath, even though you have beautiful colors underneath, you're wearing the carcass. You would rather get an attachment than shed the skin. That's what I'm saying. And this is how you get stuck on the old timeline when you refuse to shed the skin. It's a simple system. We've made it complicated. It's so simple. You're the programmer. Do you want something different? Then program it with a thought. Allow that thought. How do you do it? I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's so simple. You ever heard of breathing? You ever heard of the breath of life? I've said this many times, but I think I need to say it again. Source once told me, I want to give you a gift. For days, I want to give you a gift. I want to give you a gift. And me, I'm like, oh boy, whoa, what is Source setting up for me? Source wants to give me a gift. Give it to me. Where is it coming from? I can't wait to receive it. Is it coming in the mail? Is it coming like when I'm driving, going around the corner? Where's the gift coming from? And then all of a sudden, Source said, the gift is the present moment. And I'm like, huh? Say what now? Source is like, yeah, the gift I want to give you. The gift is the present. The present moment is the gift. When you breathe and when you become conscious of that breath that you just took, when you appreciate that, when you allow that breath to allow that chest to rise and fall, and you realize, wow, I think this breath might be powering my heart. Maybe the heart is powering the breath, but nevertheless, these two are working hand in hand. Those two things seem important. They're keeping me alive. The present moment is in the breath. The breath of life is the gift from Source Divine. The breath gives way to be present, to be in the eternal moment of now is the present moment. The present moment is the present. That is the gift from Source Divine. With this breath, we can create. With the breath of life, we can create a thought form. We can feel into the thought form. We can create a divine energy signature or vehicle for this thought form to grow legs and to sprout and to take form and to go bind to the like energies. We send this thought form, this energetic vehicle we just created through the emotional imprint, through the emotional body. We send that out and we allow it to do its work. That's a code. We coded it and we use the breath of life. The present moment is the gift of God. It has the code. The breath has the code inside of it. If you breathe, Yahweh, way, Yahweh. If you breathe, it has a code in it. And when you create that emotional imprint, that code goes to create for you. There's nothing you need to do but just breathe. Mirande shambuana, hibuana karata boya, shade, kambora tata karashimone, himona karmatata. And this is Source. My children perish because of lack of knowledge, because they do not know me. They don't want to meet the breath. But when they're on their deathbed and they're grasping for breath, that's when they find me. And this is why I have to bring so many people to their near-death experience so that they will seek me and find me, so that they can get the gift. It is the breath, the presence of God, the Yahweh. I don't know what else to say. That's Source. There's nothing more I could say but to give you that. But to give you that. Oh, God. Because what you are seeking is seeking you too. But are you speaking the right language? All we need is breath. That's it. The breath has the code. That's all we need is the breath. And I think with that being said, I mean, Source has really spoken. I think I have to just drop the mic and leave that there. Thank you guys I'm sorry I'm not feeling well. I'm burning, like I'm literally in the inside of me. I'm just burning. I'm burning, but there was a lot going on. Hi, sister. Hi, Carolyn. I'm so happy you're feeling better. Hmm. Judy says this is not Tahira. Ah, this is me, y'all. This is absolutely me. Sorry, I'm not feeling too well tonight, guys. I think I'm gonna have to leave this here and get some rest. And please, guys, subscribe to at Karmic Justice TV. And if anybody wants to have their case heard in the court of public opinion, then just email karmic justice. I think it's karmic justice TV at gmail.com. Let me know if that doesn't work. If you have anyone that you have karmic debt with or issues with, it's a cool concept. So when you look at the video tomorrow, you'll kind of get a gist of what it's going to be about. And yeah, and then I will be seeing individuals' cases as well, and allowing spirit to judge those cases so that we can, clear out the karma one soul at a time. And it's going to be done in a fun way. We're going to have fun on this new channel. Got to be able to laugh a little bit more. I'm going to be in your face a lot more. And it's for entertainment purposes, right? This is like all spirit, right? It'll still be spirit, but it'll be a little bit more for entertainment purposes. So yeah, guys, if you can actually go over there now and please subscribe to Karmic Justice TV, I would appreciate that, guys. That would just be awesome. But guys, I'm gonna let Source, that was Father Source just came through, dropped the mic right there. So if you guys don't want to get sick, right? And it's not everyone that gets sick, but there's a select few that, Source has to bring you to that moment so that you get the gift. It's like Source is practically chasing us down to give us the gift, the present, the present moment, the eternal moment of now, where all things can be created, right? So just remember how you think, how you feel, and what you do creates the life script. A life script is the current program that you're running. And what you're seeking is always seeking you. It's like the hide and seek game, right? You count to 10, have your eyes closed, you count to 10, and then you go and you find, you know, I don't know how that game goes. It's been a million years since I played that game. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. I think it's time for me to go and rest. But I love you guys so much, to the moon and back. I'm going to try to come over here tomorrow, possibly around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we'll all watch the premiere together on Karmic Justice TV right after at 5 p.m. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. And yeah, we're gonna get into some good stuff tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to get a good rest. I haven't really slept because I've just been trying to I've just been trying to keep people alive, and I haven't slept at night because I've been fighting demons. I mean, for people, and I've just been, that's what they call standing in the gap. But tonight I will get some rest and allow Source to be the watchman for this evening. You guys take care. You have a beautiful evening, okay? I love you all. Bye.